Okay, here's another League of Legends game coming your way, this time as Sion top against Cho'Gath. So, enemy team has a Poppy jungle, which hasn't been a thing ever since her rework, but yeah. Anyway, I am doing this as a post-game commentary. I'm coming into the game a little bit late. Overall, I'm going to do my usual start with the whole Duran ring and potions stuff. Now, I don't know what happened while I was out, because you can see Talia is pretty banged up. I didn't see her summoner spells on cooldown, so I don't know. Anyway, right there is my setup. Case that wouldn't bite too quickly for you, Arcane Comet, Mana Flow Band. Then I don't know if it's Celerity or Transcendence or Transience or whatever this one's called, but then Gathering Storm last. In reality, whether you go for the CDR or the movement speed, it's up to you. It doesn't matter in the grand scheme of things. And then for the Resolve tree, we are running Demolish, so I can knock down the towers if left alone, as well as Overgrowth, so that I get even more HP from killing minions, and that in turn leads to a bigger Demolish, a bigger shield, and so on. So I can bully Cho early, but late game he becomes an immovable object. And he has a bit of an edge over me when it comes to that, because I go for a different build this game. So if you saw the previous game, I was up against Rumble, and since that Rumble's like pure AP, I went for the really abusive build. That was Adaptive Helm into like... I don't know if I got the Cinder then, or if I went straight into Banner. Thing is, Banner's a waste of time against Cho because his ult is true damage. And the ult has a lower cooldown than your Banner, so if I... like, it'd be a lot of wasted stats. The active effect just does not pay. So anyway, I will put out a disclaimer, I'm not going to stick around for the entire game for this commentary. I will pop in again at the end on live, that way I can talk about the end of the game, and then I do some unboxing stuff since this is the April Fool's event. So anyway, while we wait for this to play out, let's go over how Sion works. Your passive is something or another, but when you run out of health, you get to stick around and beat on crap. I don't think I get any kills with this, but you'll see me farm with it in a little bit. Your Q is that, the wind-up. If you go for the full 2-second channel, then it becomes a... well, the longer you channel it, the more CC it applies. If it gets to half the channel, it will apply a stun. If it gets to the full channel, it will apply a fairly lengthy stun. So your W is your shield, scales off your health. The W also has a passive component attached to it where you get health for stuff dying around you. Yeah, Cho lives barely. Your E is Triumphant Roar, I want to say. Poppy's still around, I know it, so I'm trying to bait her out a little bit or make her just stick around so she's not doing stuff. I'll go into more detail about that in a moment. So for your Roar, you will shred enemy armor. If you use it on a minion, it will send the minion flying. It can hit an enemy and deal the damage it normally would do, I believe. So right here you get to see me farm with my passive. And unfortunately, this at the end of the game, this is the highest I was able to get in terms of ranking. It's just utterly astounding the shit teams I had after this game, and like the Hecarim has quite a bit of problems himself, and I'm not excusing him or anything, it's just the bar is practically on the floor. You have to actually dig to go under it, and these guys did. So finally, your ult is a charge type move. You've become unable to be interrupted while casting it. You come to a stop when you either activate it again, travel a specific distance, or collide into terrain. As a result, Jarvan and Nivea, Trundle are all good picks of Sion since you can stop it cold. I even do have a Trundle game on the channel where I use the pillar to interrupt the Sion ult, so if you're really curious, go ahead and look for it. It's from last year, I believe. Actually, that might have been the first Flex Q. No, the first Flex Q was when I was playing Trundle. So anyway, that's basically how he works. Your only AP ratio is your E, I want to say. The Q and the ult scale off of AD, and then the W scales off HP, so Sion stats are all over the place. One of the nice things about going for the Duran Ring when using Gathering Storm is it means all of your stats be converted into AP during the mid-game where they actually matter. Later on when you sell the ring, they'll turn into AD, and at that point it just doesn't matter anymore. Sion has some pretty nice AP ratio, so he can be a little deadly with a modest amount of AP, we'll say. But anyway, as I was trying to say, for Cho in particular, there are a couple things you do need to watch out for. Oh, watch this. And the blind snipe. So ultimately I knew he was looking at Talia, that's why I knew I could fire that shot and it was going to connect. He wasn't really paying attention to me, and it cost him his life. So right there's the Demolish going off for the first time. It's not a lot just yet, but once my W and Overgrowth will be stacked, I can take a huge piece out of him. So I don't think Sion's received any nerfs lately, which is a little surprising since he's pretty strong. You could argue he was indirectly nerfed with the addition of Conqueror. It's just I haven't really played the matchup to see for myself yet.
What am I?
Thing is, his W is a little lackluster in my opinion. It just... it takes too long to actually be worth anything. So if you're wondering about the specifics of the lane, I can kill Cho early. I just have to whittle him down with my E. Thing is, once the E is rank 5 and not getting any stronger, then Cho will start building resistances, and yeah, I don't really hurt him anymore. So I'm trying to think of what else comes to mind before I take off. I haven't really been here for very long, but there's just not really that much to say. For one, I want this game to go up in a couple hours, so I need to actually get it through my editing software. Oh, I don't think I mentioned that yet. A lot more of the customs are disabled. Actually, I talked about this at the end of the video, so... I do ask if you guys have any strong feelings about whether I should go for Blood Moon Diana or Infernal Diana. So think about it. If you care, comment. If not, well, you can move along. So I should explain a little bit about the Q in case you're wondering. Since that has to channel, Cho has two ways to interrupt it. Both his Q and his W will do so. As a result, when you use the Q, you actually have to pay attention to whether or not he's used the moves or not. The Q is telegraphed, so you do have the ability to let it go to fire it off before he knocks you up. It's just for the roar, that doesn't really have much going for it. But anyway, when I force him out of lane, I want to proc the Demolish, and I'm aiming to get First Blood Tower. So I don't really know what he was up to here, but you can see he got his QW combo off on me. It's just, this early in the game, he doesn't have the stats to actually make it matter. I forgot what he's running as a keystone. In case you're wondering about my opinion for the April Fool's event, it was nice that they gave away a little bit of orange essence. It's just all the other rewards kind of sucked. I'm not playing one for all, period, and that's where they hold most of the blue essence hostage. It's just Riot's done so much questionable crap these days, and with the whole cannon minion thing on the horizon, I seriously am considering quitting. Like, they don't know what they're doing exactly. So right there I stunned him. So I kill Cho, I go down. And here I just start beating the crap out of his ear. And then pop him. Don't worry, they had it coming. So yeah, not a lot of detail to go into about this. I mean, Sion is pretty straightforward. I know one change he did get was that they supposedly reduced the range on his E to make it accurate because it was bigger than it was actually supposed to be. Don't really know how accurate that is, it's just I didn't really notice too much of a difference with the E at all while I was playing this. And what's going on with the Poppy here is something that I felt after a certain point after playing these games with these idiots. Like, I just can't bring myself to care after a certain point. They're just that incompetent. So right there, Poppy committed suicide by pony. And I'm cool with that. I'm not running any sort of bounty hunter thing. Like, right now I'm wondering, would it have been worth it to go for the Abyssal Mask? Okay, yeah, I really can't think of anything else, so I'm just gonna duck out here. Like I said, I will be popping in at the very end, and then we do some unboxing stuff. Whether or not it pays off, it depends on how much of a Ziggs fan you are, and that's the only hint I'll give. But anyway, that is it.
More enemies. I hate this waiting. Drown out their screams. I know. I do not believe.
An ally has been slain.
Apart. Their bones.
Turret has been destroyed.
If it breaks, so will you. Forget the faces of the slain. What am I? I cowards fear death. Your cries disgust me. Run from me! Noxus suffers your
An ally has been slain.
Don't move!
always marching. Many battles have I won? Corpse for the pile. Hate this waiting. The quiet eats at me. Victory is
An ally has been slain.
blood. Our drums will drown their screams.
Tag, do it! Remember to roll!
Winning is like breathing. Blood will spill. Only cowards fear death. is the thrill of carnage.
Shut down. An ally has been slain.
Taste blood in the air. Death had its chance.
Away with you!
And you to dust.
Shut down.
Forget the faces of the slain. Is this what passes for war? I'll drown you in your own blood. I feel no pain. Is the wine of victory. Death had its chance. I'll pull you apart.
An enemy has been slain. An enemy has been slain.
From your bones. So can't even scratch me. Slay the strong, trample the weak. I'll drown you in your own blood.
An enemy has been slain.
Winning is like breathing.
Your team has destroyed a turret.
Be back.
An enemy has been slain. Shut down.
Our drums
Triple
will
kill.
drown out their screams.
Rampage. Has destroyed a turret.
Give me an enemy. Many battles have I won.
Your team has destroyed a turret.
I will
And I guess from here I can actually do some commentary. I had people going in and out of the house. It's Easter Sunday, in case you're wondering, so the alarm system by the computer is going a little crazy. Don't know if I want to give this to Kate or Braum. We'll give it to the Meat Shield. He's humble. So that should conclude the April Fool's event. Only an A+, not really a big deal. I was thinking it was kind of lost in the middle there since Hecarim wasn't really doing as much. I went full tank and I'm like right up there with Talia and Hecarim. Seriously, the only thing I have in terms of items that does damage is this Cinder. I didn't even finish the Sunfire Cape. I could have gotten this a little bit sooner if I really wanted to. It's just I felt everything else was more important. I needed these for mobility, this for sustain purposes, and that made my W a lot bigger, I'll put it that way. So you saw my job wasn't really like to deal damage, I just sit in the middle of the team fight and disrupt. Sadly, Cho'Gath got to the point where he was so beefy I couldn't hurt him that bad. The magic resist from the Abyssal Mask pretty much negates the Sunfire effect, so I had to beat him down with the axe, and I'm not running Grasp, so it's not that efficient. Let's go to the details real quick, I'm kind of curious. My Comet did less than 2,000. Meanwhile, the Demolished did almost 5,000. 400 bonus health from Overgrowth, plus that was like 1,000 HP from my W. I was an immovable object for most intents and purposes. So this will be the only game for the weekend. I'm using weekend in air quotes because this will be going up Monday. I'll be doing a post-game commentary for the first part, as you may have heard. And yeah, let's open these. I'm hoping for a Zac shard. Okay, I can take a Bard one. I'm cool with that. Zac. Braum. Okay, I'm cool with him too. Zac. Nasus. Bleh. Alistar. Bleh. Rise. Bleh. So that's my second Alistar, my second Rise, third Nasus, so I can disenchant one of these. And the last level up capsule. Morgana, Mordekaiser, Amumu, Blue Essence. So we've disenchanted Amumu in the past, this one will be no different. As for Morgana and Mord, that's my first for both of them. So I have like a shard for almost every character at this point, it feels like. So let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 44. So no, I'm not even halfway there yet. Anyway, this is the April Fool's box, whatever you want to call it. That's why it doesn't require a key or anything as far as I can tell. And it contains... Seriously. Aw, man, that did take a key. Damn it. So I got ripped off, man. Anyway, let's see what this one offers. Ruthless Pantheon, that's disenchant fodder. Number 2, Master Arcanus Ziggs. So it's a nice looking one, but I probably will disenchant that for essence. And finally, a Jhin Shard. Now, since I don't play Jhin, I can disenchant this. And Zac... Well, let's see, is there a character I want right now? That's the question. I could go for Zoe, it's just, you've noticed I rarely play mid. Could go for Kled, except I don't think he's really that good. Darius is really popular these days, just I very rarely played him in the past. Let's go for Heimer. Because I can use an AP top laner, worst come to worst. And then the other order of business... That's really lame, man. So, I don't know if I'm going to do it now. Should I? One of the things I wanted to ask you guys is which one should I get first, Infernal or Blood Moon? I'll let you guys decide because I'm probably going to get both. As for what else here I unlock... This is a low priority for me. I'd like to get it eventually, it's just, I'm not even interested in Gun Goddess and I already have Arcade, so... As much as I like Jessica Rabbit, this is on hold. and I don't like this one at all. So, man. So yeah, I guess that's the question. A lot of my customs aren't really working anymore, so I am going to be looking to finally get around to doing this. So I would like to give emphasis to the ones that I don't have yet a skin for, so that's why I think Diana's going to be the first one. Then I may go for Hextech Janna, I'm not entirely sure. Chrome Rammus is always a good one to pick up, but if you guys feel strongly one way or another, go for it, because as is, I'm leaning towards Infernal just because it's orange. It may seem kind of lame, but very, very few skins in the game are orange. This being one of the exceptions, ironically. So yeah, I picked up a little bit of the orange essence from this event. I have to disenchant a few things, like I'm going to disenchant the Cassiopeia skins most likely, and Project Z for sure. So that should give me enough. But otherwise, that was Sion, those were my boxes, and soon, one day, Zach, soon. Anyway, I'm the Hero of Light. Thanks for watching, and goodbye.